So, a lot of people have been messaging me about this game ever since the trailer came out, and they wanted to know my thoughts on it. And I gotta be honest with you guys, when I first saw the trailer on IGN, I thought it was some kind of an April Fool's joke because, I mean, let's just be honest, they released a trailer on the 1st of April, okay? So everybody thought it was an April Fool's joke, and it just looked too good to be true from what I saw, and then partnering that with the day it was released, I didn't take it serious. It just looked amazing, and I thought I was being bamboozled. Now, people are telling me that this is an actual game, and I was like, really? Are you guys being honest? This is an actual game? After realizing that, it left me speechless. So what do I think about it? Well, to begin with, I will say Mortal Shells, which is the name of the game, it reminds me so much of Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, and that has to be one of my favorite games ever in this, at least in this current generation. And it seems like it has a mixture of Senua's Sacrifice and God of War. So if Senua's Sacrifice and Kratos had the horizontal split and had a baby, and they decided to raise that child in the world of Dark Souls, I don't know. I think you guys would see where I'm going with this. And I think that is one of the first things that you will get just by looking at this trailer and even some of the gameplay bits and pieces that you will see in it. I saw someone mention Warframe, but I really don't see it. Maybe because of some of the darker and green tones that you see there, and maybe even because of the third person. That could be the reason why someone would mention Warframe. But that part also reminds me mostly of Godfall because of the movement and the dodging and all that kind of stuff, how the combat looks. It reminds me a lot of Godfall, even though Godfall is not even out yet. But Hellblade is just so obvious here. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. If you haven't played that game before, you need to go play Hellblade right now. And of course, if you throw in that God of War, you can really, get what I'm talking about. I think the most interesting thing to me is going to be that camera angle, especially when it comes to Soulsborne series or a Souls game. That camera angle seems, it's not evolutionary, but it seems like a really nice and really cool approach to this genre, and it adds a little bit of that new gen God of War type of approach to it as well. What I'm thinking is that they are basically giving us their own take on the Soulsborne genre, which has been on a good track so far. You have Sekiro, and then you have different games that have come out as well. And if they can get it right and give me at least 100 hours of gameplay, that I will really be satisfied with this. And I know some of you probably were thinking, bro, 100 hours? That is a stretch. That is crazy. But hear me out. To be honest, for a Soulsborne game, that actually is a small number. Like, before I stopped playing Dark Souls, I put in, I think, around maybe 300 or something hours into that game. So 100 is actually really good. It's not a stretch at all. I just don't want another disappointing situation in this genre, because if you guys remember, we recently had games like Remnant from the Ashes, which did okay, and it tried its very own best to put its own Metroidvania spin on the Souls game, but it only worked for like maybe a couple of weeks or so, and after that it just fell flat, and it failed due to a lack of variety and lack of content. The game wasn't long enough, it wasn't massive enough, and I understand, they already let us know it's a small game, but it has so much potential that it could be bigger and better. And the game just died before it could lift off the ground, and I haven't heard of any form of an update on the game since then. And I think that's my big fear for a lot of games like this, especially Godfall that is also coming out in 2020. With the game like this, they need to have a solid story. They need to have something that is long enough and engaging. And I'm not talking about some crazy fetch quest or tedious kind of a gameplay. No, it has to be engaging. It has to be revolutionary. And I'm not talking about some kind of a Death Stranding type of revolutionary moment. I'm talking about a real revolutionary kind of moment, for it to stand out and really be awesome. What about replayability? Well, they need to have some really good replayability as well, with a little bit of a randomness to it as well. Those are questions that I have, and I want them answered, at least from the developers, when they release the game. This game gives me one of those too good to be true vibes, and that has been one of my biggest fear lately now, because I've been through some of the crazy moments in gaming even within the past 3 years or so, and it's a little bit, it takes a toll on you. And I really hope that this game delivers, because if this really finds a way to grab my attention, I can definitely see myself sinking in 200 hours at least into this game. I am really itching and wanting, or really hoping for, a game where it's going to be my source of progression in gaming, getting powerful, the power fantasy, and being stronger over time. I don't want a game that is going to nerf all my powers and all that kind of stuff, because that's what I've been getting lately, especially in time of quarantine situations that we're in right now. Like, seriously, I want something that can hold my attention and can be fun and enjoyable, something you can play for hours and even also have fun with people playing it. I really want something good. Anyways, I would like to hear you guys' thoughts on Mortal Shells just by looking at the trailer alone. What do you think about it? What can you pick out from it? Also, I would like to hear your fears. I know a lot of people don't ask this much about, what are people's fears on these games, but I would really like to hear your fears about it. If you can, put it in any words that you can, it doesn't matter. Well, anyways, that is going to be it on my thoughts on Mortal Shells. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.